Assalamualaikum, Papa.
Walaikum assalam, son.
How are you, man?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Thank you very much.
How's Ramadan going?
Alhamdulillah, going very well.
Good. Good to hear. So,
Yeah.
we're back for another podcast. It's been a couple of weeks because we took some time off. It's difficult to be consistent with it. I was ill last week and I'm still ill today, as you can tell. There's some sort of flu going around, I think. I'm trying not to give it to you, hopefully.
Harish, don't tell me about it.
Why, you got it?
In the mosque, yeah, I got it twice. And in the mosque, the coughing going on. It's
Yeah.
a musical kind of thing goes. Somebody coughs from there, and then people are, it's bad. It's bad. But it's a winter, you see, the thing is when you're fasting also, and you're getting them that early in the morning and stuff like that. And some people, I've stopped this year. I'm not eating at all yogurt. But some people still using yogurt for savory and stuff like that. And these kind of things don't help, son. So, yeah.
I'm struggling this year with Ramadan. Not because of the fasting. That's not bothering me.
That's the easiest one this winter.
Or the praying. That's not bothering me either. It's the energy levels. My energy levels are completely depleted from like early morning onwards. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You got a different issue, but because of the little children.
Yeah, because I wake up for Seri or Sahur, whatever you want to call it. I wake up for that, then I pray, and then I go back to sleep. Yeah. And then about an hour or 45 minutes later, I'm up because the kids are up ready to get ready for school and everything. So the sleep deprivation, I think, is a bit of a...
But I have nothing to do. You're still working. I'm not doing anything. Even I'm struggling. The reason is because in the middle of the night, I only get about 2.5 to 3 hours sleep. And then in the morning, after Fajr Namaz, when I came back from mosque, I tried to go to sleep. It takes a long time. And then the minute I would nod off, I got to get up for a pee. And then second time, and the third time. I drink 1 glass of water, and I take out about a
gallon
or 2 gallon or 3 gallon. What's happening? I just can't figure that out.
Yeah.
I have 1 cup of tea in the morning and 1 glass of water. That's all I have. That's the liquid I have in the morning, and 1 glass and a cup of tea in the evening. I don't get it. Today I did something. I'm trying different things and stuff like that. Today what I did was I put on socks, woolly socks.
Yeah.
Right? Because some people say that, when your feet are cold, then something happens. And also, I put on, I normally sleep in a T-shirt or something. I put on a hoodie today. And that made me last till about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
From 6, when I went to bed, was around about 6 and till 8. I didn't get up. Although it wasn't a comfortable sleep, but it's bearable to not get out, because before I just couldn't lay there. A minute longer, I had to get out. So that has worked. I don't know if it's going to work tomorrow or not, but today's worked.
I'm glad it worked, Dad.
Yeah.
What do you have for Seri? Because when I was a kid, we used to fast together in this house. Now, obviously, I've got my own house and everything, and we don't fast, unfortunately, but together. But when I was a kid, you used to make this beautiful, delicious thing, which I never forgot. Mm-hmm. Where you put cornflakes in a bowl with broken up cake crust, and you'd pour pan tea, tea from the pan on top, and it was the best smelling, tasting thing I've ever had in my life. Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of the Arabic dessert called umali. Right. You know umali?
No.
It's like umali, but it's a Pakistani version of umali, I think.
And this year I've done that, and Alicia's enjoyed that as well.
What do you call it? Is there a name for it?
No, there's no name for it. I've added another thing as well. I bought some baka khanis.
Oh yeah, they're nice biscuits.
So so I now break baka khani, 2 baka khanis.
Yeah.
Then I put 1 or 2 cake rusk in it.
Yeah.
And then I put some honey nut cornflakes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't put any sugar in it and stuff. So honey nut. And then now, before I used to just make tea, but now I make tea, but I don't put no water.
Okay.
So it's pure milk. So it's like and on.
You still do it in the pan, or you do it in the kettle?
In the pan.
Nice.
In the pan. So it's a proper pakka chai.
Pakka chai, best stuff.
And all that, and then I make, and that's more than enough.
Yeah.
But I don't do that every day, obviously, because I do that to avoid eating eggs. Because otherwise, it'd be 30 days, I'd be just eating eggs morning, noon, and night. So, morning and evening rather, not noon.
Yeah.
But what I do is, otherwise, I have, like for this morning, I had 2 croissants with egg.
Oh, posh.
Yeah, and one with egg, one with honey, a little bit of honey on it.
Lovely.
Other day before yesterday, I had paratha.
Oh, man.
Yes, there was some dough, so I made paratha for myself. And then yesterday, I had 2 brown slices with just honey on it. A little bit of butter, margarine, and honey. So it's just I'm varying a little bit, but I don't much. People go mad.
Yeah, I've seen
eating
people,
sour time and all that and iftar time. But the thing is that I keep it as simple as possible because I've noticed one thing. The more you eat, the hungrier you feel.
Yeah, for 100%. I don't know why that is. Yeah.
The day I eat paratha,
later on you're starving.
I'm hungry at about 11, 12 in the afternoon. I have 2 brown slices. I'm fine till about 6, about half an hour before opening fast. Half an hour before I start feeling that, the time is not going now. But, so yes, keep it simple. In summer, obviously you can add the yogurt as well. So you can have some yogurt with either paratha or a bread or whatever. I cut down completely yogurt this year. In Sohar, in Iftar, I'm having it sometime. Make it into that lovely mint yogurt and stuff like that. To put it either on the rice and stuff like that. So yeah, different things. Yesterday I had a lovely curry with chapati. Day before that I had Alicia made pasta. So we had that. So yeah, different things.
Nice. Yeah. See, your people see you on the podcast and obviously over the years on my vlogs and online on my socials as well. I post you a lot. You're my dad. Obviously I'm going to post you. So and people love you, man. You're a very likable guy.
Thank you very much.
You're very you remind people a lot of their loved Okay. Or in some cases, people say, my father passed away. He reminds me of your dad, that kind of thing. So these people you're very loved in my community.
A kind person to be kind to somebody else. So if they must be very reasonable, decent, loving people.
Yeah.
In their own hearts.
Yeah, they're good.
Because my views are good obviously,
people.
I'm not. They
weren't always like that. I used to get a lot of bad comments, over the years. But luckily, they've all been weaned out a little bit now, and the good ones have stayed. Yeah. But so yeah, I'm glad that you're a likable guy. Obviously, I like you. You're my dad, but I'm full of cold, guys. I apologise.
Don't worry. You want a tissue paper?
What I wanted to mention was how they might have had a different opinion on you if they saw you and met you when you were younger. Because when I was a kid, you was a bit of a drill sergeant. So I wanted to move on to that a little bit because I remember as a kid, you wake me up for Seri and we'd come downstairs and you didn't want me to say a word. And I'd sit here and I've obviously got this hyperactive, like Cammy. Not as bad as Cammy, but I had it like Cammy, yeah. So I'd be like, it's 4 in the morning. I'm sat here, you're trying to eat your breakfast, and I'm messing about or making noise or making jokes or whatever, and you'd be absolutely fuming and telling me off and everything. So I'm saying, and I remember when I was a kid, I didn't have many friends, but the friends I had would be too scared to come to my house because of you, because you were such a scary character. And even my wife, when she first met you, she said your dad's an intimidating guy. And anybody who's ever met you over the years have said your dad's quite an intimidating guy. No, you're not, Dad. Okay. No. That's all kind of left you now. I mean, you can still be, if you want to be, you can still be. But
I think I did explain to you. I can explain it a little bit more now.
Yeah, because we need to get onto the fact about how you want to celebrate my kids fasting, but you never celebrate me fasting. I want to talk about that as well. So.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, son, I'm always been in my own mind and in my own thinking, and a lot of people who know me as friends and stuff, and my family members as well, been a very happy-go-lucky kind of person, right? I always look at the both sides of the picture. I don't just see somebody behaving badly and I look at it and I say, what's the reason why that person is behaving badly, right? But son, I'm not giving any excuses to that. But the thing is that the whole situation from the minute I got on the plane to come here, my life changed in a different way. Back home, as you said yourself as well, when you're living with your parents, you have no worries, where the food is coming from, where the clothes are coming. You just make demands that I want this, I want that, I want this kind of trainers, I want this shirt, I want that, And not only that, I did it for my parents, but also I could do certain things on my own to earn money while I was a student. I told you that we would cover that in podcast, that I used to get different kind of tricks or jugaad or whatever you want to call it to make money. For example, I told you that I used to make lovely clothes and stuff like that. I had a couple of friends who I had very rich friends, and I had very kind of my level friends, and I had some very poor friends as well. But I didn't, kind of go for a certain type of people I'm going to be friends with. Whoever the decent person, I was friends with them.
Yeah.
So I remember at least 2 of my friends who would then buy my clothes off me half price. Like for example, I had a suit or a jacket or a nice shirt, and I've worn it a couple of times, and they liked it, and I said, and I would, if it cost me, say, for example, 20 quid, I'll give it to them for tenner, right? And that £10 will then go to my next purchase or whatever I'm going to do. I had a cousin who, in those days, with these ID cards, the ID card, they call NICOP or something like that nowadays. In those days, it's called Shinati card. He became the head of Shinati card in Lahore. So unknown to him, though, because I don't want to have any blame to him, I used to then get people who are queuing up for hours and hours and hours to go get the Shinati card made. I'll get their forms, go inside. He will make, I said, my friend or my friend's mother or friend's father or whatever. So he will just sit me down, order me a cup of tea. I'll be having a cup of tea and coffee, and the Shinati cards will get made and come in, and I will charge him 200 rupees in those days per person. Yeah. So I would make £1,000, 1,000 rupees in a day and stuff like that. In those days, I used to smoke gold leaf cigarettes, and the packet of cigarettes used to cost, I think, about 10 rupees.
Yeah.
Right? So that to give you if I make 1,000 rupees, the 10 rupees is the packet of cigarette. Yeah. And then there was a shortage of cement, and then I would get permit. You had to have a permit to get a cement if you're making a house. Big business. Then there always, even in this day and age, it happens as well. These people are just, God help them. In UK, when you have Christmas and stuff like that, all the muggies make things cheaper.
Okay.
But in Pakistan, when it's Ramadan, everything goes up because everybody wants to make money, and then when they make a lot of money, then they give a little bit to the charity, and they say, "Oh, we've done our bit." So in those days as well, because there was a big party going on, or somebody's having a wedding and stuff, they can't get sugar. So I knew the contacts as well. I'll get the permits. So
it's all about contacts, isn't it?
Contacts and stuff, and then make money out of that. So, but when I came here, son, I was dependent on my brother. Yeah. I was living in his house to start with. He paid for my travel. He paid for my fees for the university. I lived in his house. He gave me, in those days, I think it started from £5 a week. As a student, and with £5 I had to go to take a bus, but the bus only cost 30p. 30 pence from my house to town, which is on Rounded Road, and town is not that far, so 30 pence. But within that £5 a week, I had to kind of take the bus both ways and also have some snack over there as well. And then he increased it to £10. I am used to using a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now I'm limited to the certain amount of money. Right?
How did you feel in that time?
Not very good, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, then I had to take kind of, I don't know if you want to call it stealing and stuff like that, but my brother smoked the same cigarettes.
So he stole the cigarettes?
The good thing he did was, when he picked me up from Heathrow Airport, I didn't used to smoke in front of my father or my brother.
You landed at Heathrow?
Yeah.
No, Manchester?
No. In those days, there were no flights.
Really?
You had to go to, you had to go
mission?
to Heathrow. Oh, yes. And the minute he got onto the motorway, he pulled out a packet and gave me a cigarette. In those days, you could smoke anywhere. I mean, this is a bloody... My sister-in-law was sitting at the back, and me and him sitting at the front. So he offered me a cigarette. I resisted for a few seconds. Then I thought, listen, I'm going to live in his house. If I don't smoke in front of him now, I'm never going to be able to. I took the cigarette from there. So that's the good thing, that he broke that kind of... So I used to then take his cigarettes and stuff because I had to smoke as well and I couldn't afford. Although the cigarettes in those days was, I think, £1.25, £1.50 a packet as well. The ones I used to smoke here. I can't even remember which one I used to smoke here. So long ago, 30 years ago, I gave up, 35 years ago. Yeah. So, and then obviously then the issue came of my education and the fees that were very high and stuff like that. Then I was working with my brother, helping him out with deliveries and stuff like that and looking after his shop. Then I missed 2 of my subjects, English legal system and the sociology. I failed them both. So I had to then either go to the university here and pay the full fee, which was £3,000. In those days, £3,000 was a lot of money. Yeah. I'm talking about in the 90s. Then my brother found a cheaper place in London, so I went down there. So he obviously paid my travel. And
this can't be the 90s. I was born in 89.
He wasn't,
This can't be 90s. This was before I was born, right?
Before you were born, yeah.
So
18,
it's not 90s,
80s, yes. Sorry, yes, 80s.
Yeah.
So, but then, obviously, I'm trying to, make it short. Then, obviously, for some reason, I met your mother and we got married.
What do you mean for some reason?
No, for some reason is that it was going on, and then in all this going on, I met your mother.
Where did you meet her?
Forget it.
Listen, where do you meet Mum, Dad?
University.
Mum went to university?
Oh, yeah. She used to come to university.
Okay.
So I met her there anyways. But we decided to get married, right? Okay. So when we got married, obviously I moved in with her rather than she moved in with me because I was living with my brother, obviously, so I couldn't bring her there as well. So I moved in with her. She was living in Mainwood with her mother.
Meanwood? You never told me that.
Mainwood, she lived in Mainwood, yeah. So I then, but after about 2 weeks, because she used to work for this Royal Insurance company, she was paid half the mortgage. So we got a first house on Roundamount, and within about a month or so of getting married, we moved into that house.
Yeah.
Now that is the place, Harris. Then I had to start.
Carry on, let's grab a tissue, okay?
Yeah, just over there. Yeah, obviously that's the life started when you have to start finding out the cost of living, my friend. As they say in Pakistani Urdu, aate dal ka bhav pata lag gaya. Aate dal ka bhav means that we found out how much the dal cost and how much the meat cost and how much the mortgages and how much the... So then the life cycle started. Now I had number of issues. I'm just cutting this story even shorter now. Obviously, when you were born, Zara's born, the firstborn, has an issue, heart issue. She was Down syndrome. She had a heart issue. So that didn't help in life, right? I applied for, because I was working for my brother as well, but obviously my brother was giving me a certain amount of money a week, which obviously wasn't enough for me. So I was applying. So I applied for 70 to 80 different jobs. And all the offers I got, about 10 or 15 offers I got, they were all salesman jobs, the commission based.
Oh, yeah.
And that was no good either. And I did accept 2 of them, one selling dishwashers and tumble dryers and stuff like that. And the other one got selling the cars. But unfortunately, selling the cars were in Castleford, and that was selling Lada and Talbot cars. Yeah, Russian cars. And so I worked in both places. 3 weeks I worked in one place, 2 weeks in another. Didn't get a penny from them, and
really?
just walked out.
You got a penny?
No, because obviously I just walked out because I know I'm not getting anywhere. So the only benefit I got from the Lada was that they gave me very next day they gave me a car.
So you had a car while you were there?
So I had a car.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, but after 3 weeks, I had enough. I took the car down there, dropped the car, got the bus, came home. Never asked for any money from them.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I was very lucky that then we decided to sell the house and buy the shop.
So you used the money from the house to buy the shop?
Buy the shop, yeah. But I borrowed £80,000 from Barclays Bank.
How did you get a loan when you not got a job or anything?
Because when you have a deposit of a certain amount and there's a building, right. So that building is the collateral in it, the business and building and
business that
everything.
you're going into.
Plus the deposit, plus
Okay,
we gave him £25,000 deposit, 80,000 from there. The total cost of the shop when I bought was about 95,000 or something.
Yeah.
So then, son, that shop is from 5 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. So I lost 5 years of your life.
Yeah,
there.
I didn't see you. I didn't know you was, mate.
5 years of your life because
I remember that. I
shop
remember
for 5
thinking,
years.
even now I tell people, my wife, I told her recently, I said, I didn't feel like I knew my dad till I was much older because you were too busy working all the time.
Because when I came home, Haris, you would be sleeping. When I go in the morning, you would be sleeping. So the only time...
coming in every now and again.
So only time I saw was occasionally in the afternoon when I had some help. And I was... I had a couple of people working for me, but when they were working for me, I was going out to the supermarket, to these markets and stuff to buy stuff for the shop.
Cash and carry.
Cash and carries and stuff like that. Even then, I didn't. So occasionally, if I'd done my cash and carry quickly, I would come home in the afternoon for about an hour or two. Yeah. And if you were back from school, if it was that time,
I vividly remember an image in my head. I don't know how old I was, but I was very young.
Right.
Vividly remember just watching you walk out the front door.
Yeah.
And I was really upset, and I didn't want you to go.
Yeah.
And you were. I was asking you not to go.
Yeah, but
you had to go. But at that age, I must have been really young. But for some reason, I got that image in my head. I don't know why. So
Haris, when you have life haggles, trying to do so many things,
hurdles
at the
and
same
stresses
time,
and strife,
all sorts of things. Then sometime even a very happy-go-lucky person can get a bit stressed.
This is what I think happened to your pops, because even Mum told me when I used to talk to her when I was growing up. You changed after you got the shop, and that changed you. Yeah. Obviously, you had all the difficulties of people trying to break in and hurt you, and
Haris, the shop was the nightmare.
Yeah,
there were people were stealing things all the time. I didn't even know. Some of my sales reps used to come and put stuff, and they caught 2-3 kids in the morning going to school. They would come into my shop, and I'm busy. And they would just take a couple of Snicker bars, something. They would fill up their pack because display was just open out there. There was
cameras back in those days, no?
No cameras in those days. And there was this very notorious pub across the road, and there were drug dealing going on all there. So all the druggies would come in and do all sorts of things, threaten me all the time.
That was a famous pub, that as well.
Yeah, threaten me.
Right opposite.
The number of times I was threatened with knives and guns and all sorts of things is just unbelievable. And then...
you had that shop when Jack Ripper was knocking about, right?
No, just after that.
You had the shop after that?
Yeah. Okay. My brother had the shop like that. My brother was stopped by police twice because the question...
Because Jack Ripper was going around that area, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Crazy.
He was just after he got caught. It was after that.
Yeah.
So these type of things affect you. And then, Haris, when you're back home and you're in a family, even in here, if you're in an Asian family, from the minute you are born, you can see the atmosphere in the house. In Ramadan, you know everything.
Yeah.
Over here, it was a mixed marriage.
Yeah.
So I had to teach you, and there was no examples around because I don't have my parents living with me or anybody else. I am the only one. I have to teach you and I have to tell you. And then, obviously, your mother didn't wake up all the time, right? So I was the one to wake you up. I had to do my namaz. My tahajjud namaz, I had to read that. I come back from Tarawih at night time, I had a couple of hours sleep, then I get up to do my tahajjud namaz, then I had to go in the kitchen, get everything ready, then I had to call you and Alicia.
Yeah, well, Alicia never came, let's be honest.
No, Alicia, no, she did do. She
barely ever did.
Well, yeah, but she did.
Let's have it right. Let's have it right. It was me and you, Papa.
Yeah, and then, Haris, I had to go 3 times up and down, waking you up because you didn't just jump out of there because you're a young kid, so you're not gonna. So I got things on the stove there, on the cooking, and I got.
You say to me, if I don't get up, you say to me, if you don't get up now, I'm throwing cold water on you. Like, get me out of bed.
Yeah. So can you imagine that if like even now today, when I go for my Tarawih, Haris, I try to go as early as possible, but before I even enter there are 2 faces. I know I'm not going to name them. They're always there.
Yeah.
And then I think, why the hell are they there? Even 50 minutes before me.
Yeah.
Then I think, they got a wife. They don't lift a finger. They just have their iftari. go to read their Maghrib namaz, and they come back and the tea is ready on the table. They drink the tea, they walk out of the house.
Yeah, people have.
I have to finish my aftari. I have to go read my Maghrib namaz. Then I have to come back and wash all my pots and stuff like that. Then I got to make myself a cup of tea. Then I have to come down and drink my tea. When the tea is finished, then I got to wash that cup, and then I got to go. So, you know, and serve time is again same thing. I don't. It's just because I'm so used to it now. I mean, sometimes Alicia does ask to help and stuff like that, but I don't even, you know, I am making breakfast for her. I'm making a cup of tea. She says, and it's just number of times, Dad, let me do it. I'm just become so used to it now. Sometimes
you've got OCD as well. You don't forget that.
Yeah, and I don't like certain things. For example, if you do it,
you'll do it again after she's finished.
Yeah, but when you go in the kitchen, she's washed the pots, but she hasn't wiped the work surfaces.
Yeah.
That just makes me mad.
OCD, mate. OCD.
You have to. No, it's not OCD. You have
OCD,
to have your
Papa.
work. No, but
that's OCD, man. You got a deep. You got a heavy, man. You need everything to be done your way.
These are the things, son. These are the things because that's why I didn't want you to. At that time in the morning, I'm not in a mood of chat. So I'm like, don't say a word. Just sit down and eat and finish it because I know that after that.
Yeah, but you got to understand. As a little kid.
Yeah. I understand that.
It's a bit harsh. I didn't understand what anything was going on.
But after so many months and years, Haris, you should have helped out as well, thinking, my dad is doing all that.
I didn't know what was going on, Dad. What am I going to I didn't know how to fry an egg at that time.
So you got to wriggle out your responsibility and you want me to...
No, listen. I understand your point of view. I'm just mentioning it from a kid's point of view. For me growing up in your house and you doing that stuff to me, I actively now... And that's probably why my kids are so misbehaved. I actively don't.
You're too lenient and too,
because I grew up under your rule, Dad.
Yeah, so you don't want to get no rules.
I don't want to be like that. So I'm like, I have
no rules. Either rules or no rules.
Because I'm still.
Yeah.
I'm still
suffering.
Not suffering. I'm not suffering, but I still have flashbacks of being constantly berated and told off and scorned. So then I don't want to do it to my kids. Cammy came downstairs with me the other day and he's fasting. Yeah. And he's acting like a clown. He's doing the ADHD rubbish, right? And I'm sat there eating my breakfast. And obviously, all I can bring myself to say to him is, chill out, man. Chill out a bit. Relax. Because I can't shout at him like you do to me. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I have seen something somebody say that for children who may be autistic and stuff like that, or calm the children down, there's something I'll tell you afterwards when we finished it. The thing is also, Haris, because I sent you to mosque.
Yeah.
And obviously, for different reasons, you were learning swear words from all these. I'm going to say which area of Pakistan because people don't like that either.
When you send a white kid, which is what I look like, a white kid into a full Pakistani class, they're going to all want to talk to and teach and have some sort of joke with the white kid.
Yeah,
I was always the only white kid in these different classes you sent me to, Dad.
Yeah,
they'd always jump on me and either there was bullying going on every now and again, or they would want to be friends with me, but then teach me. Even now, I'm 36 years old this year. Even now, if I'm around some Pakistani guys and they say some words I don't understand, I say, what does that mean? And they have a laugh and say, it means this, or like, The thing which I need to add on to that as well, that because of that, I stopped you going to mosque. And then at Seri time as well, I wanted to read Quran myself. But I also wanted you to read as well. So I'm there looking how you're teaching you as well at the same. So there was so much going on, Haris. Yeah, I understand. There was so much going on. I understand now. Yeah. I'm just bringing it up because I've got kids and I see differently now. How I don't want to be like that with them. I don't want to. Yeah. Because when you do that, Pops, what it does is it adds negative connotation into what the activity is. Yeah. So what you didn't understand at the time was that made me not want to come and fast because I'm getting told by my dad this is a bonding thing. Yeah. Rather than bonding, you tell me to shut up, don't speak, eat, and go back to bed. No, I understand that because sometimes you can do things slightly differently, and sometimes in hindsight I can say that I could have done things slightly differently as well. Yeah. But on the same time, I could say that you could have cooperated a little bit more, of course. Knowing what the situation of course, is. But I was just a child. But anyway. Yeah, I know. So listen, moving on to the point of. Cammy fasted the other day, and you threw a bloody party for him.
Right, okay.
Now, when I fasted all through my childhood, on and off, didn't all the time.
Yeah.
Never once did you celebrate me. So
No.
let's talk about this now.
No, the thing is, you see, this is why they're saying that when you have your own children, you're so preoccupied with doing so many things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you have your grandchildren, your mind is a lot freer.
This is a common thing, by the way. I've heard a lot of people say this, so it must be a common thing.
I would have done that. I should have done that. In Pakistan, they always do that when a young child of 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old have their first rosa. It's a very big thing because you know it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So when Kemi and Nora did that, I was very, very proud, and I wanted to throw them a party. I wanted to do a lot more than what I did. I only gave them a couple of garlands and and praise them and stuff. But yes, what they do is they like even what they're doing in some countries now. To start the children off from 5, 6, 7 years old, they're doing a half rosa.
Okay.
So they start in the morning, but they open it in the afternoon sometime.
Yeah. That's a good idea,
Yeah, that's a very good idea as well. So, you can do that. So I was very proud of both of them.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm more proud of Haris. Both of my grandchildren, the third one doesn't understand things at the moment. They're keen to do Islamic things.
Yeah.
Nora wants to wear a hijab.
Yeah.
Cameron and Nora want to learn Quran.
Yeah.
They want to go this is not in many children, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm that proud of the children, that they are keen to learn. I mean, when they come here, we say, if I forget it, they say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before they're starting, which is very, very good thing, son. Yeah. So you need to develop on that.
I am trying that. Slowly,
I know, but I mean, we took them to the mosque. They didn't do a very good job. They took money for full year, and they didn't teach them anything.
Yeah.
Now this mosque, what we're waiting for, please keep ringing them again and again and again. Get on to them.
Okay.
So if they go into that mosque and they start, because as keen they are, they need to get into learning as much as they can. I mean, obviously, Rafi was making a bit of a fun. He didn't know, but the other two would have read namaz behind me very nicely.
Yeah.
But because Rafi was there, that he was disturbed in them, so they all got disturbed as well.
I've got a confession to make.
Yeah.
I told my wife about this and she laughed, so that's why I thought I'd mention it now in the podcast. I would never mention it otherwise, but all those years ago when we used to have Sari together here, and then you'd finish your food and you'd drink and everything, you'd go upstairs to brush your teeth, do your wuzu, and you say you finish up, and then when I come down you go up and do your wuzu. I would put TV on, and there's a channel at the end of the sky where you watch naked women. So I'd watch that while you're doing your wuzu, and then as soon as you come downstairs, I'd turn it off. That's just I do that every, and that's so bad now thinking about it.
And that's in Ramadan.
And that's I don't know that I knew that when am I going to get the chance to sit at 4 o'clock in the morning and watch Babe Station or whatever it was called?
In the middle of the night. You're not going to wake up and come down.
Exactly.
Even if you do, I'm going to say.
And I don't even know how I found it. I must have one day just be flicking through, and you're upstairs. And I go, what? Remember the number 385 where it was, and then just so that's been on my mind. I was told my wife the other day, she laughed it off. So I said, I used to put it on mute and be like this, and I'd hear your footsteps going down. I'd quickly turn it off. So yeah, that's a little confession I had to make, Dad.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd rather you wouldn't that, but never mind. No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, Ramadan's going all right, man. Another thing as well I wanted to mention is other day I was getting dressed and I remembered. I don't know what age I was. I remembered you telling me, and you've always lectured me now. This is a thing you've done since I was a young kid.
I call it advice. You call it lecture.
You call it advice, but I call it lecturing.
No.
But I appreciate it because your voice is in my head through most of the decisions and anything that I do now. So that's something you've been able to achieve in your master manipulation and your persuasion and brainwashing, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Everything that I do pretty much now, your voice is in my head, right? I remember when I was a young kid, you told me a man should always put his trousers on first and his shirt on afterwards. Yeah. And now I'm 36 this year. I do not put my shirt on first. I put my trousers on first because your voice, if I try to put anything on first, your voice comes in, put your trousers on first. So
the women wear the shirt first is fine because they have certain amount of coverage up to there as well if they because the Asian shirts are long and but t-shirts are long as well. I've seen, but the man must have to hide his,
Aura.
bits first. So you have to put the trouser on.
What's it called? Aura. So there's something that underneath the belly button where they call it aura. I don't know what they call it. Something like that. I've heard it.
Yeah. No. Right. Okay. So modesty. I would call it. So you have to cover your modesty first.
Anyway, I didn't know it was anything to do with that. I'm just saying.
It's just
Your voice,
kind of
your voice
well.
is always in my head. So what I'm saying is, you lectured me throughout my life.
Yeah.
And 99% of it got through. I'll be honest, 1 or 2% might have. I've been daydreaming while you lecture me all the time about you. But 99% of it got through, and it's things that I live by now. So you and Mum both. But mainly you was the voice in my head, always lecturing me, always, constantly on my case. And when you're growing up as a young kid or a teenager, you're like, flipping hell, Dad. Always, I used to say to my dad, give me a break, will you? Flipping hell, man. But I do appreciate, what I'm trying to say is, in my day and before me, the father used to lecture the kids and get in, and the kids would get through to them. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I feel like that's totally changed, and getting through to the young kids of today.
Yeah.
And future generations is going to be completely different, and they're I try and do what you did to me, not lecturing, but giving them advice, and they probably think it's lecturing, but always on their case. Don't do this, don't do this. I mean, because you always just say your famous catchphrase was, "If I don't tell him, who's going to tell him? Because you're my dad, right?" Which is the truth,
Harris, with my experience, but some people might disagree with that. To be very frank with you, son, the upbringing is done and made by mother, not the father.
Right.
Father can give the advice, but I've so many examples I have, Harris, where the father is the laziest. He doesn't, apart from maybe shouting or hitting the children, doesn't advise, many. The mothers are the ones who bring the children up. Mothers the one who tell them etiquette. Mothers the one who tell them how to behave. Mothers the ones who tell the children how to respect.
She spends most of the time with them anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Because you see, the mother can make the children respect the father. Father can't make the children respect him. You can't, because the more you shout and the more you do that, the more they're gonna think like you. For example, saying in the lecturing and all this and that. On the other hand, if your mother was doing that and put it in your head, he's your father, you can't talk to him like that and stuff like that. Like nowadays, the kids, they can answer you back. You did that after about when you were 14, 15, not before that. At least you didn't, talk back to me.
Yeah. I don't remember really ever speaking back to you anyway.
You did one occasion, I remember very, very clearly in Dubai when I said something to you. And then. Because obviously, I understand why you did that.
No, go on. I don't remember. I'd love to remember what you're talking about.
No.
No, please, go.
Because there were other people there, and you felt embarrassed, and that's why.
Oh, you've always embarrassed me, Dad.
Yeah,
you've always loved to embarrass me.
That's why you did it. But nowadays, the children 7 year, 8 year, 9 year old.
Can you take a pause for a second, Dad?
No, I'm not gonna go into
I want to
that.
know.
No,
I want to know
no.
which instance. When did I answer you back, please? I never answered you back. Please tell me.
Harris.
When did I answer you back, Dad? Just tell me.
Harris, we were in Dubai.
Okay.
And then in front of people, I don't know what was the incident. I said to you, shut up. And you turned around and said, you shut up.
Did I?
Yes.
No way.
You did. And they were shocked. Everybody was shocked. And your mother was shocked. And everybody else.
How old was I?
I don't know, 14, 15, something like that.
I said, you shut up.
I know.
And you didn't beat me up?
But no, because I just got...
You were shocked?
Yeah.
Was it a wedding or something we were at?
It was in a house, but there was my sister and my nieces over there, and a lot of people there in that room at that time.
And you said shut up to me for what was I doing?
Something you wanted to do or wanted to go, or you were insisting on something, and I was having a bit of an argument with your mother at the time.
Oh, so there's a lot of uproar going on then.
So you were just so I just said to you, shut up, Harris, and you said, you shut up, and then. I just walked out of the room, to be honest with you, because obviously I don't know what else to do, because I could have really
killed me.
Yeah, but the next best thing I did was walk out of the room. But nowadays, even little 7, 8 year, 9 year, 10-year-old kid can turn around and say, things.
Yeah, I see the bad stuff, man. Especially from your
but
kids.
the thing is, the way you talk to them, Haris, this is the thing. I have a find what issue with you and with you bringing children up is that you want to be friendly with them, which is appreciated because obviously you're saying that you forced me to be friends with you and all that.
People are very, very envious of our relationship, you know.
But son,
and that's all down to me forcing you.
What you're doing with your children, there is no discipline now. There is no boundary now. With you, at least, you know your boundaries. You knew how far you can stretch things, right? And you did it slowly. The kids now, the younger ones, I know they were too young to understand what they're saying sometimes, what they're doing is, but this thing can get big, Haris.
Yeah.
So there need to be time to play. There need to be time to when they need to study, or there's time to watch TV, and there's no TV anymore. It's too late at night time. For example, Rafi doesn't want to go when he's here. I don't want to go home because he knows that he's going to go home and he's going to go to bedtime. Yeah? So he want to that's fine. Children doing a little bit that. You said, no, okay. You got to reason with them is fine. We're going home and you're going to have another 15 minutes of play or telly or whatever. Don't put them straight because otherwise he will be doing it more and more. But if you start negotiating with them slightly like that, okay, we're going home, but you're not going straight to bed. But most of the time when he's in the car, he goes to sleep anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying, that you need to start doing it a little bit now, discipline with the children, not by hitting or anything, by acting or actively. Sometimes we take things away too much as well. Oh, you're not having this, you're not having that, The biggest problem is that, Haris, what we are doing recently is that we should not threaten children, which we're not going to do. Once we've done that you're not going, for example, to the park.
And you still take them.
You still take them, that's bad.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Because I might threaten it because I'm so sick of them being naughty.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to take away from them.
This is when they're going to learn that my father, what he says, he means it.
Yeah, but then you're ruining the life if you don't take them out anywhere.
No, son, no. For that day, you're not doing it for the rest of your life.
But I feel like we had the plan today. It's my fault. I shouldn't threaten you not going to this place today when everyone's excited, ready to go. Yeah. My wife knows we're going. She's planned everything. I've paid for the bloody thing we're going to. You know what I mean? Usually it's that kind of thing.
I know, but this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. This is where you have to put your foot down, or don't threaten it.
Yeah,
don't say it's simple as that. If you know in your heart that you are not going to be able to keep that up. I told you before as well, Haris, that when you go home, have a steam. One thing I told you, and rub the vapor rub on you and stuff like that, and put it on. It shouldn't last for that long. You're going to give it to me as well because this just goes round and round and round stuff. Anyway, so where are we going now?
So yeah, you mentioned that. I don't know, Dad. You mentioned this thing about me answering you back. I don't remember that, so I apologise.
No worries.
I don't remember saying you shut up, but I must have been very, very upset.
I was in Dubai. There was a lot going on.
I must have been really upset. I must have been really upset.
That's why I didn't. I think my take on that is that you never would have done that if you wasn't in front of all those people.
Well, you used to regularly embarrass me. Remember the time I had those? We were at a wedding.
Yeah.
And I was eating chicken.
Yeah.
And I was leaving the bowls on the table rather than on my plate.
Yeah.
And you said something and embarrassed me in front of everybody.
Because this is not Haris manners. I have to teach you.
Now I'll never ever leave. Whenever I eat anything, I never put anything on the table now because of that time. Everything in life. I want to mention something as well, by the way, because I tell you what, it hit me so hard the other day when you told the story. Even though you told the story to me a million times before, for some reason, you told it the other day and it stayed with me, right? Tell him quickly the story about the woman you were going to get married to in Pakistan and then you didn't get married to. Quick one. The way you watched Boris Becker. Quick story.
Oh no, I didn't in Pakistan. He was in London.
Okay, go on, quick. Sorry.
Even London, my father and contacted somebody in London and said, "Oh, yeah, there's a potential, rishta here in London. The girl is very well educated and stuff. The father is a very businessman and stuff like that." And my parents were going to fly back home from Heathrow. As I told you, they used to go from Heathrow. So when I went to drop them, before I could take them to Heathrow Airport, we had a few hours, so we went to their house. So they did a very, very nice party and food and stuff like that for us. And things were nearly sorted with my father, and everything was agreed and stuff like that. And then when I was taking them to Heathrow, my father said, when he finished from there, it's going to be very late at night, and I don't want him to drive. So the father said, "It's all right, he can come and stay here the night, and he can go in the morning."
Good.
So that's what I did. And then when I went over there, I was sitting on my own in the room, and suddenly because the women didn't come in front of me, I didn't see them. So I was sat in the living room for about 2-3 hours, and then suddenly he came after the closing the businesses or whatever he was doing, and sat down with me for 5 minutes. And then in the meantime, they put the food on the table. And at that time, I was watching this tennis match.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, if I would have been sat here where I am and my telly's over there, it would have been fine. But the way he put me over there, the telly was at the back of me. So I was eating with him, talking to him as well, and I was going like that. So he got a little bit peed off with this, and he said, "Why don't you go and sit over there and watch?" I said, "Okay, thank you very much." And on those days, stupidly, I picked up my plate and I went and left him on his own. Harris, he's my potential father-in-law.
Yeah.
I just left him there, and he decided there and then.
Well, I see.
Not only that, but also when I stayed the night, it was quite a new house, and it was a beautifully decorated and lovely room they gave me. And I used to smoke in those days. So I left, and there was no ashtray, and I didn't ask for any. So I had it in my empty box, and I put all the ash, about 4 or 5 cigarettes, and then I left it like that. So I left the room quite messy.
What the hell's wrong with you, Dad?
I know. I'm kind of...
Anyway, so if you didn't do that thing with the TV...
Yeah. I could have married her.
You could have married that woman and lived in London. I wouldn't be here right now.
But the thing is, that's like Revolving Doors. That film, have you seen that?
No.
No, Revolving Doors is the English film. You watch it sometime. But that wasn't never going to happen. That wasn't planned by Allah Almighty. Allah Almighty had your mother as my wife, even before I was born. Even before your mother was born. That was decided. Not only that, it was decided which house I am going to be born in.
Yep.
And you were decided to be my son. You were always going to be my son. So you're thinking about anything else that I wouldn't have been here. It's just not here and there. It's just stupid.
No, it blows my mind how these things...
It doesn't. Yeah,
it blows my mind.
It does.
It's like, you know Holly? Holly's my wife, right?
Was she? You know that.
I'm telling them, not you. I'm telling them who don't know.
Okay. Why did you get married, son? You never told me.
So,
okay.
Holly used to live in front of this big hostel in Haworth.
Right.
So in the middle of the countryside, right?
Right.
Before I met Holly, about I don't know, 5 years before that, 5 or some of the years before that, I was in college, and we had a college school trip to this hostel.
Right.
So years before I met my wife, before I knew who she was, before she knew who I was, I was in a hostel behind her house for a school trip.
Right.
And years later, when I went to her house and I was in her area, I said, I went there once for a school trip, and she went, this is my house right in front of that. Right. How crazy is that, Dad? That's like, there's a story of this invisible string. I don't know, I can't really tell her the same, but I've heard about this invisible string, which is, it's not a religious thing, it's just a thing where two people are connected from, before they even know who they are, or each other are. There's like these stories of people as kids being at like Disneyland Paris, whatever, and they're both at Disneyland Paris as kids. They've both got photos in the family album. They're both there the same day in each other's photos, stuff like that. Like,
I saw this thing on social media the day. This woman 40, 50-year-old woman given a kidney to somebody,
Yeah.
donated. I don't know why would somebody do that, but anyway, she did that. And then she found out the guy she given the kidney to was her prime date when they were in prom date. Prom date when they were in school.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And so they put both the pictures together. The one when they went to prom together, and when they are after in the hospital kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this thing can happen. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she was born in the same hospital in Pakistan as me.
As you?
Yeah.
Okay.
As me. So I was born in the same hospital. She was born in the same hospital.
Yeah.
So that means that my father, in those days, was doing the job in that city.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law's father was working in the same city at the same time.
So the reason why the reason why that story hit me the other day, because you told me this for years, but the other day you told me, and I was like, flipping hell, man.
No, but they think,
because if you think about that, and you really, because for me and for a lot of people I know, it's quite natural for you to brush things off, you know, and especially this day and age, like. Especially if it's religious, you're like, oh yeah, that so far fetched. Everything in religion seems so far fetched because in this day and age, it's very difficult to put everything into blind faith.
Yeah,
you want to see proof of stuff, you know, everything you want to see, and until you see it, you don't believe it. With everything, Dad.
Yeah,
you know, so it's very difficult to have blind faith. But there's so many things like this that come up, which give me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Or really shock me to my core. That this is how life is, and everything happens. Everything's a ripple effect. Everything happens for a reason, and this can't all be coincidence, because coincidence doesn't work like this. Yeah. It's all some sort of higher power. It's got to be some higher power.
Obviously.
And
Harris, I would have, if it was my choice, married to 3 different women in Pakistan.
Yeah, before you came to UK.
Before you even came to UK.
Yeah.
In UK, I could have married at least 2 before I met your mother. Your mother, on the other hand, could have married at least 2 potential, because your mother's older sister, your auntie, or whatever, you know, she married to an Iranian guy.
Yeah.
So they moved in a circle where there were a lot of Iranian families and stuff. So your mother could have easily
married an Iranian guy.
Married an Iranian guy.
Yeah.
But that wasn't to be. It was to be. So this is what the plan is. I did not choose my wife. Now, if I tell you I chose my wife, no. Yeah. I didn't choose my wife, or she didn't choose me. We were meant to come together. Yeah. So either we met in a university, or we met.
Yeah, because even with Holly, I knew her a long time before we were just friends for a long time. Then we were lost communication for a few years. Then we communicated again. Yeah. And then, bro, Dad, it's crazy stuff, man.
It is, yes. So that tells you the plannings of Allah Almighty.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah, when you let it sink in,
that beautifully brings me to this thing. I was watching this. Surah Rahman is the one which Allah Mia says to you again and again and again. That what would you make you believe? Yeah. And I also saw that this guy became Muslim, and he was saying on social media, he said, well, I was thinking of becoming a Muslim, and I was sitting down there, and I was saying to Allah Almighty, give me a sign. I am nearly there. Please give me a sign. Nothing, he said. He said, then I started reading Surah Rahman, and he said, how much more signs or proofs do you want?
Yeah.
Haven't we given you this? Haven't we given you that? Haven't we done this? Haven't we done that? Is the birds, the sea, the river, the skies, what more proof are you wanting, son?
Yeah.
So this is why I'm coming to this one now. I don't know whether, but I've heard it before a couple of times from people that when somebody's poorly, especially if somebody's in coma, whatever that, you put Surah Rahman tape in front near them, but it has to be in the voice of Qari Basit.
Okay. Is that the one who's...
It's very, very good, beautiful voice.
Yeah.
So, for somebody said the other day as well, for autism, he said if you put that 3 times, or just put a tape, you don't have to have translation, you don't have to have, just loudly put Surah Rahman 3 times, morning, afternoon, and evening. Doesn't have to be that and it has to be done for 7 days. Doesn't have to be, if you miss one time in the afternoon or evening, doesn't matter. It's for the cure of so many different kind of illnesses and stuff like that. It works as well for the people who are in the coma, has woken up because you put that there. Some doctors, when they're doing operation, Muslim doctors obviously, they like to have this cassette playing as well. Some people, doctors in America, may like music or whatever, different things and stuff. But you can easily find it on YouTube, on the music. Tried that a few times and said, all you have to do is just listen to it. Don't have to do anything. You can have a glass of water there, and when it's finished, you just drink that in three goes, or make the kids drink it, in 3 steps. And you can just close your eyes, and without saying out loud in your heart, you can just say, Allah, Allah, Allah 3 times. I mean, I personally haven't experienced that because I haven't tried it yet, but a lot of people are saying that it works.
Yeah.
So let's see if you want to do that in your house, just put it on. And it.
I mean, this to a lot of people, this kind of stuff will sound like this, not superstitious, but that kind of thing. Like that, people think.
But yeah, people.
But
listen,
let me just say one thing. Let me say one thing.
Yeah.
It does sound like that to a lot of people, even me sometimes, right? But remember when Cammy was about 3 years old?
Yeah.
And he got this really bad virus in Dubai.
Yes.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he was vomiting non-stop.
Yeah.
And diarrhea.
Yes.
And he couldn't keep anything down, liquid, food, anything.
And the doctors are worried. We were worried sick here as well.
We didn't think anything of it at the time. We took him to the hospitals to get checked up, and she said we have to keep him in. He's very, very dehydrated. We didn't realise, because he's dangerous. The doctor said he's dangerously dehydrated, and we have to keep him in. And as soon as Holly heard that, she started crying straight away because we didn't realise he was that poorly. We just thought he had some bug or something. She goes, he's got something virus, norovirus or something it's called, adenovirus. Yeah, I remember. It was called adenovirus, and that's like they're saying I don't know virus. I was like, well, they don't know what it is or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, he was in a hospital, and the poor kid was so young he didn't understand when they put the needle in his hand for the IV. He was calling my name, and they wouldn't let me go to him or help him. I couldn't help him. His hurts, obviously, putting a needle in. He didn't understand. He's screaming my name to help him.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst moments of my life at that point, because when you can't help your own kid, it's a painful thing. And then everything we did for a week, he wouldn't keep anything down. If it wasn't for the drip, they said he would be dead. They said that we were scared to death, Dad. You were scared to death here. Holly's parents were scared to death. Everyone was scared. Didn't know what we were doing. And I swear, I'm not even joking now, Dad. This is the honest truth. This is no joke. There was no answers from the hospital. There was no answers from all the specialists. There was no one who could help us. The day you went and gave money, Sadka, the same day morning, he started eating, shoving food in his mouth, shoving drinks, just chucking it all down. I'd left the hospital and I'd gone home.
He was eating like he was hungry for
like an animal.
Not animal.
Yeah, like he was grabbing it with his fist and shoving it in his like that. I went home for a shower and for a rest because I'd been in hospital for a week on end, and Holly was there with someone.
I did Sadka here as well, and also I did Sadka.
No, it wasn't just that. It was the moment. It was the moment you did it.
Yeah.
You told me I'm doing it now. I said, okay, thanks, Dad. I went home for a shower. Got out of the shower. I missed call. I called Holly back. She was, he's eating. I was what? I rushed in the car, went back to hospital. She sent me a video while I was on the way. He's shoving food like this in his mouth.
Alhamdulillah.
That day, that moment completely changed my view on anything that sounds superstitious or sounds ridiculous.
You know, one second, I do Sadka all the time, but the next time I did the Sadka,
I had a kidney stone, I think.
No.
Which one was it?
Then you had COVID and you couldn't breathe and you were in a hospital.
Dad, Holly doesn't believe this, right? I swear on my life, on my kid's life right now, I swear to God, right? I was in they gave me my own room. I had the mask on, which was pumping air in me. Whenever I took it off to go to the bathroom, I almost fainted every time because my body wasn't taking oxygen in. Yeah. So I'd walk from the bed to the bathroom to go for a slash.
Yeah.
While I'm washing my hands on like this. And I had to rush back. They have to bring me back quickly to the thing. So I was on the mask, and one night I was sleeping, and it was pitch black in this room, right? And I was sleeping, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and I woke up. I swear to God, Dad, this is no joke. I'm telling the truth. Holly doesn't believe. My own wife doesn't believe this. She says you're bullshitting. I said, this is the truth. I'm telling you that. The doctor tapped me on my shoulder, and I woke up, and he said, just wanted to tell you that you need to call your family because you have pneumonia in both your lungs.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do, and you need to let them know that this might be it for you now. I said, okay, thanks, doctor. And he walked out. And then so I thought, I'm gone. And don't forget, Holly's grandfather passed away at the same time I was in hospital. He was in another hospital, and he passed away of COVID. Her grandfather.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm a goner. I mean, all the stories at the time were if you get COVID, you're finished. So I'm thinking, God Almighty, I'm done. So I tell Holly, I said, Doc said I'm done. I told you, Doc said I'm done. You get Sadaka, and I came out next day.
I was in the Masala in the middle of the night, son, crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
I've done that twice now. Once, the stupid cousin of yours.
Which one?
The younger one.
Umar?
No, that.
Valid?
No, but that girl from Wakefield.
Oh, Farah?
She called your mother earlier or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she was out there somewhere and one of her friend fainted.
Flipping out.
Her friend fainted and she was looking after the friend and shouting at her. And at the same time, the phone got pressed and the call came and you were out in the middle of the bloody night.
I was working somewhere or something.
Or you were working or whatever.
And you was in bed.
And she was saying, I was in bed and I'm screaming down the phone. First, your mother was saying, hello, for I was wrong. And she thought, we thought you were with her for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And something has happened to you. And she was crying and all the carry on. And we were shouting down the phone. And she wasn't listening because the phone was in a bloody pocket or something.
Yeah, but what was she? She was saying my name or something, right?
Saying similar, very similar to your name. She was
Harris.
Like yeah. Wake up.
Harris, wake up.
Yeah, wake up and all that carry on.
Harris, stay with me, Harris.
Stay with me, wake up, stay with me.
Yeah.
And we are just, oh my God, I just don't know what to do. And your mother just panicked and I panicked and I just did the wuzu and I sat down in the musalla and I cried. And then luckily your mother then phoned you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And you answered the phone, hello?
Oh
my God, I know.
Her friend was called Alice.
What? It's
So
like that
she was
joke.
saying Alice, not Harris.
Yeah, it's like a joke. Like they saying, I don't know if I can get the right, but
you always got these jokes in Urdu. You got to try and translate them.
I know. It's like somebody saying that. Somebody's taken your wallet and you ran after that guy.
Yeah.
And half a mile down the road, you think, I haven't got a wallet.
Oh yeah.
It's like that kind of thing.
You started praying before you even called me to check.
Yeah, we didn't check. Then after it took your mother a while as well, and then she couldn't do anything. So then she suddenly tried your number.
Yeah.
She said, okay, because that phone is busy now, so nobody's can answer that one.
Yeah.
So she said, if she phones your number, somebody will answer that.
I remember answering you both shouting at me down the phone. What are you playing at? What's going on? I'm nothing. I'm just working. You were like, you stupid idiot. I'm like, what's up, Dad?
What else can I do? Because one night you were going out and I told you not to go. And you still insisted on going. The weather was very, very bad. As a father, I knew, and you got into trouble. So
you're always right, Dad.
You got to listen to your father.
You're always right. Yeah. That's the most annoying thing, to be honest. You're always right, which is...
it's annoying. Why would it be annoying for?
It's annoying, obviously, Dad, when you're always right and it's always against what I want to do. So at the end, you're always like kind of like, I told you so kind of thing. It's annoying, isn't it?
I don't say that told you so.
You give me the look of it, told you so. Well, that's the look there, see?
Okay.
Anyway, that's it pretty much for today, Pops.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast today. And please like, subscribe, share the podcast with your friends, family. I get a lot of love from people when they meet me out in public, but I need more love on the podcast because
I'm not wasting my time for about.
But that especially doesn't like it. If we don't get, if it's not getting a good enough interaction, views, and comments, people aren't enjoying it. He's like, why waste our time, son? So if you enjoyed it, please let us know, and hopefully we'll do some more soon. Okay, thank you guys, Dad. Love you, man. See you That's what the mosque
Yeah,
was.
the mosque, yeah.
Eid Mubarak. If I don't see you before Eid Mubarak, guys.
Yeah.